I'm excited to tell you that we're taking a huge step forward in announcing Salt Lake City's partnership with the Other Side Academy to create the Other Side Village, a tiny home community pilot project. Having an operator and a manager on board as a partner was one of the biggest hurdles we had to overcome to get this moving forward and meet this goal. The Other Side Academy is a partner that is so devoted to the success and the empowerment of its current students, many of whom are standing with us today. They have a proven track record that we know here in Salt Lake City of successfully managing a peer-based community while being a positive neighbor to the community they live and work in, as well as the rest of Salt Lake City. And I know that their devotion and their passion for success will translate into the Other Side Village work we're doing together. We are invested in this community. We hope that it will be able to expand beyond the pilot, but also that it will inspire and motivate other parts of the state of Utah to build similar tiny home communities. We need this kind of housing throughout the state of Utah. I'm going to turn some time over to Joseph Grenny with the Other Side Academy, and then we'll be happy to open it up for questions afterward.
Thank you, Mayor Mendenhall, for your trust and for your vision. Today is the beginning of better days for many who have been unsheltered and marginalized for many years. The Other Side Village will offer hundreds of those who are looking for a better life a chance to help create it. We thank Mayor Mendenhall for how immediately she championed the vision of this novel community. The mayor's been a longtime and faithful friend of the Other Side Academy. When we approached her with this idea, she embraced the partnership without hesitation. Why? Because the men and women of the Other Side Academy have a track record of improving our city. The 7 men and women standing behind me collectively spent 45 years living on our streets. 5 years ago, they and 100 of their brothers and sisters moved into a historic home in downtown Salt Lake City. The average student at the Other Side Academy has been arrested over 25 times. All have long histories of addiction and crime, and most of extended homelessness. You'd think having 100 people with such profound challenges move into a historic downtown neighborhood would be a recipe for disaster, but it wasn't. Since we began, our neighborhood has become more beautiful. The crime rate has dropped, and neighbors are regular beneficiaries of our student service. Rather than costing the state over $50 million for incarceration and many other kinds of services, our students are entirely self-reliant. Over the past 5 years, they've produced over $14 million in income, running some of the most admired businesses of the state. In fact, we announced today that students of the Other Side Academy are pledging the first $50,000 to build this village. Now, let me be clear, we're not suggesting that all of those who are currently unsheltered have similar stories to our students. Not at all. Everyone's story is unique. The reason we think we have a role to play in this is because we know some things about building a strong, inclusive, loving, and virtuous community. The Other Side Village will be one of Utah's gems. It will ultimately provide a dignified, safe, and prosperous life for 400 to 500 men and women. It will be self-reliant. Our village will be the pride of all those who are welcomed to it. It will be a gathering place, not just for those who are currently unsheltered. It will be a vibrant and frequented venue for people from all walks of life. We know that this kind of announcement can create apprehension for those who have images of tent cities and disorderly or even criminal behavior. To any with these concerns, we say, look at our history. In the past 5 years, we have had governors, senators, mayors, and business leaders from around the world spend hours and days with our students. All leave with one impression above the rest, that our students live at a higher level of morality, integrity, and selfless service than most any group in our state. We are more chaste and sober than a BYU dorm. We are more cooperative and respectful than a legislative session. And we are more productive than a hive of bees. These same values maintained by a peer community who comes seeking a better life is what will make the Other Side Village one of Utah's most admired contributions to the world. So we thank the City of Salt Lake for having the vision to support this vision. This idea has been met with an outpouring of support already. You can see the growing list of builders, foundations, community, and religious leaders who are stepping forward for the work at theothersidevillage.com. We have an ambitious timeline that will require unprecedented cooperation to pull off. A land search team comprised of Peter Caroon, Clark Ivory, Tiffany Price, Lou Kramer, Ned Skanke, Don Sterling and the Miller Family Foundation, Jonathan Ruga, and Dave Kelly from the Pioneer Park Coalition has been formed to procure a suitable site with all haste. Others have been invited as well. We will announce their names as they commit. In conclusion, 174 years ago, a group of homeless refugees began trickling into Utah. They lived in tiny homes, and through grit and cooperation laid the foundation of the prosperous lives that we share today. This is the place for it to happen again. Thank you.